Hello guys, my name is Devansh. I'm going to teach you Excel, and the basic objective of teaching you is to make sure that if you are almost at the beginner's level, in 2 hours of time, I'll take you to intermediate level. There are a couple of things that we will be covering. Instead of walking you through on all the contents that I have, let me walk you through on the major parts, which is the general Excel function that you require on day-to-day basis, and then table and how to handle, then graphs, and then mathematical functions. I will not go exactly in the same sequence it is written, but as it is the most optimal way of teaching you. Okay, so in this video I'm going to focus on this. Let me go down till here, till here. Okay, not necessarily the same sequence. Now let's start with the most important part, which is cut, copy, and paste. Okay. Now let's say something is written. Let me my name itself, Devansh. And if I need to copy this particular cell, or if I need to copy this data in rest of the cells, let's say these cells, I need to copy this. Just do control and C, or you can also copy it from here. And if you want to paste it in one cell, you can do control V. Okay, or the paste option is right here on the left top corner. But let us assume that I need to paste this cell on all this yellow cell. So instead of pasting it one by one in all, I can select this using my mouse or shift arrow, selecting one by one like this and paste it, or do control V. And if let's say I need to cut it from this cell, and I want to paste it here, so I can do cut and I can do paste. Okay, this is as simple as that. Control C, control V. For cut it is control X, and let me put it back, control V over here. Now let us say I don't want these things. I want to go back to my previous situation or previous condition, how it was. I need to do control Z. Control Z once, twice, thrice, like this. Okay, 4 times. Now, if you see, when we did control C and we pasted on over here, control V, the yellow color was gone, right? We don't want that. Let us assume we don't want, we want only the value. So let's do control Z again and control C, let's say copy it, and I want to paste only the values in these cells. Okay, I can go to paste special. What is the shortcut of going to paste special is Alt E S. First press Alt, then E, and then S, and select only values. If we select all, it will copy everything. It will copy the value, it will copy the format, and it will copy the formula also if it is there. So we have copied all, but we don't want to paste all. We want to paste only the values. And if I do OK, you see it only pasted the value. Now let us say control Z. Now let's say this time we don't want to paste the value, we want to paste only the format. So this time we did not paste the value, we pasted only the format. All right, now let us say insert and delete rows and columns. How do we insert row and column? Let's go to some training data that I have created, and in here let us assume that there is one row in between we want to insert. Okay, so how do we insert it? Easier way is I if I want something in between 2 and 3, I select a row 3, and I want above 3, so I select 3 and I go to insert. It will insert a row between 2 and 3. Now the 3 had become 4 and we have a third row blank. In the same way, let's say I want a column after C and before D. So I go to D because I want it before D. I click here and I click on insert. So the column D had become E, and now I have a blank column in between. Now let us say I want to delete this row. I can just go to this row, select it, right click and delete. Control Z. If I want to increase or decrease the height of the row, I can just drag and pull and drag. In the same I can do it for column, or I can right click and I can go to column width. Right now the width is 38. Let's say I want to make it 20. You just type 20 and do like this. And similar for the row height, I can make it like 15. The usual height of a row is, if you want to know, we can just go to a row and we can click on row height, and we see that by default it is 15. And column is 8.43, but it is according to this column. If you go to this column, you will see a different width. But let's say we want every column in the same. So I can select one column and then just drag it and right click anywhere, any of these selected column and column width. Now you don't see any number over here because there are multiple columns with different column width. That's why it's not showing any number. Now we want to bring them on one scale. Let me call it 15. Select 15 and click on OK. So everything is on the same scale. That looks like too wide. So make it 10. Okay. Now let us say I want to hide this. The shortcut is how do we select it? There's a shift and a space. If this cell is selected, I press shift and a space, it will select the column. And if I need to hide it, I can press Control and number 9, it will hide. Control Z. And for column, it is Control space. I selected all the column, the entire column, and if I want to hide it, it is shift. It is Control 0. Okay, let's go back to the starting stage. Now let's delete it. Control minus is delete. Column, Control minus, it's delete. Okay. Find and replace function. Let us say I want in this entire sheet there is some special word that or some specific word that I want to find. Let's say that word could be COVID. Okay, and we don't know where it is, and we cannot just go one by one and find out because it's hundreds and thousands of data. So what I will do, I'll do Control F, which will take me to find, and I will write COVID-19 and find next. It will find. Now let's say I want to find all COVID-19s. I'll click on find all, but it gives me only one result, which means there is only one COVID-19. Let us say there is one more COVID-19. Let me create one more. So Control C, Control V, and let's search again. Control F, and it's already written COVID-19. I select find next. It selects this. I click on find next again. It selects this. I want to see all COVID-19s. This time it has given me two results. First result is here. If I want to see where the second result is, I can either see on F20. The first one is F9, F9 is, this is called the cell address on the top right here, which I'm highlighting. This is F9. So this is F9. Second one is F20. Now here the cell address has changed, F20. Okay. Now let's go back to the original case. Let's do Control Z and to change this Control Z again. Now let us say I want to find out where is Yahoo written over here. So I will do Control F, Yahoo. Now there is so many Yahoos. Okay. Let us assume it's a mistake, and this should not be Yahoo. This should be Gmail. How do we change all? There are hundreds and thousands of data, right? All Yahoo 2000. So what I will do is, till now we were doing Control F. Let's do Control H, or we can still do Control F and we can come to the second tab. We want to replace Yahoo with, let's say, Gmail, and click on replace all. It has done 2532 replacements. Now it has not done replacement only in this column, it has done replacement in the entire sheet. Let us say that that is a mistake. We do not want to replace Yahoo with Gmail on the entire sheet. Let's do Control Z. We want to replace only in this column, nowhere else. I do Control H again. This time I have already selected the column. So if I will do replace all, it will replace only in this column. I can do replace all in one shot, or I can do it one by one. Okay. Replace. But let's do replace all. All right. Let us say there are two words, COVID and 19. And likewise, there are many words like this in every cell. Okay, let me remove the color. If I need to remove the color, I can just select wherever the color is. I can come over here and I can remove the color. Now, let's assume that I need a column with data with COVID and 1 both, like COVID 1. Okay, so I can see and I can type, but what if there are hundreds and thousands like that? Then how will I do it? Let's say there are a few more. So one way of doing it is I type, what do I want? I want COVID-1. So I need to add this and this. So I want equal. To add two cells is concatenate. If I type CON, it will automatically show me the first option, concatenate. I type equal because I want some result, and I type concatenate completely, or just type con. It will give me, Excel will throw me all the related functions, and I press tab, it will select. Now it is saying select the text one. My text one is this. Now I need to put, now it is saying put a comma. So I put a comma. Now it is saying select text 2. I can select text 2. Then I can put comma and I can select text 3, text 4. I can go on till n. But I have only two things. So I close the bracket and I press enter. So you see If you press F2, it will show you that it is concatenating C5 and D5 and it's giving me answers COVID-1. Now, I need to have the same function or same formula for this also because I want a similar kind of result. So let me type it again. CUN text1 comma text2 bracket. And I can go on doing this, but instead of that I can, once I have written the formula in this cell, I can press shift arrow, down arrow and come till end over here and press Control D, with Control duplicate, like duplicate whatever is there in the first cell, duplicate in all the remaining cells. The first selected cell, here our first selected cell was this. So Control D, it will select all. Now if you see, everywhere we have this. Okay. Now let us say this result doesn't look good. I want a space in between COVID and 1, right? So I can make a space over here, or I can make a space over here, space. That's not the right way of doing it. Control Z. And another way is we want a space in between C and D. Okay. So what if I add one more character? But that will be under inverted comma. So if you see in between this and this, I put a space. Now this in the same way, I can select all the cells in which I want to make this change and press Ctrl D, done. Now a few more things in the drag function. Let's say I type number 1 in this cell and I want to drag it down. I select it and I drag it down, as simple as that. 1 will fill in all. But what if I have 1 and 2? If I select only the first cell and I drag it, it will fill 1 everywhere. Control Z to go back. But if I select 1 and 2 and then I drag it, Excel sees that the difference between 1 and 2 is just 1 unit. So it will fill the next cell as 3, like addition of 1, then addition of 1, and then addition of 1. Now let us say my first cell is 2 and second cell is 4. Here it is not an addition of 1, it is addition of 2. Now if I select only the first cell and drag it, it will be 2 everywhere. Control Z. Highlight both 2 and 4 and then drag it and see that Excel is smart enough to understand that the difference has to be 2. Okay. And similarly, we can just go on using this function. Okay. Now you see the Excel that I'm using, it has multiple sheets. These are called sheets. Okay. Now I want to add one more sheet in this Excel. So I can just click on this, it will add one more sheet. Now let's say I did it by mistake. I had used it, but now I want to delete this sheet. I don't want to save it. I can just right click and delete. But if I, let's say right now the sheet name is sheet 6. I can right click, I can rename as COVID-19. If I want to delete it, I can just delete this sheet. Always remember that if a sheet is deleted and you have saved this file, you cannot do Control Z. Control Z will not bring back the sheet. But let's say you have only deleted the sheet and you have not saved your Excel, you can just close it without saving, and when you will open it, the sheet will be back. But if you have deleted the sheet and if you have saved it, you're not going to get it back. Let us assume that I want to hide this particular sheet. I don't want anyone to see that. Okay, so I can just right click and hide, and nobody will see this, and save. Now if I will send this file to anyone, they will not see that sheet unless and until they go and they right click and they click on unhide. They will see that one sheet is hidden, training data. They click on OK, the sheet comes back. Let us say I hide 4 sheets. No, it's too much. Let's say I hide 2 sheets. So I can select these 2, or I can do it one by one also, and I click on hide. Now if somebody will unhide it, they will see 2. I need to unhide only training data, so I'll just select training data and unhide. Now let us say I want to unhide the second one also. I click on that and I unhide. If I want to change the position of the sheets, I can just pick it and drop it somewhere here. I want to take it back, take it back. Okay. Now let us say that there are multiple sheets over here and I need to send only this sheet to one of my colleague. So how will we do that? What I can do is I can right click, I can go to move or copy, click on this. Right now my worksheet name is workfiles_excel functions. I can create a copy in a new workbook. Click on create a copy, click on OK. Now you see a new workbook has been created with only one sheet as training data. I can save it and then I can send it, or without even saving I can go directly to send. As an attachment with an email, I can click on this, it will attach in my Outlook and it will send. Okay, my Outlook has failed for some reason, but never mind. If your Outlook is functioning, or if it's configured well, it will attach and it will send. All right, let us close this. I don't want to save it. Merging 2 cells. Let us say COVID and COVID-1. I want to merge these 2 cells. I can select these 2 or the cells that I want to merge and I click on merge. It will give an error. The selection contains multiple data values because it has data in this cell also and in this cell also. Merging into one cell will keep the upper left most data only, which means if we are merging both the cell, it will keep the upper left most data only. Left because we start from left. Okay. And if you click on OK, we will have only COVID. The one is gone. Let us do Control Z. Now this time, let us try to merge 4 cells. This one, this one, this one, and this one. Let's highlight all. Now let's click on merge. We have the same error. The selection contains multiple data values. Merging cell into one will keep the upper left most data only. If you click on OK, it'll have only COVID. Let's do Control Z. That's how is merge. Usually merging is like important, and people in day-to-day case they use it for in the top row when they are putting headers and all. Wrapping and shrinking text. Okay. Now let us say in this cell I have, let me remove this. Wrapping and shrinking text. Let me copy this and let me write the description. I am going to teach wrapping and shrinking text. This topic. Okay. Now if you see, we filled it in column B, but it has spelled over in column C, D, E, and F. But we know that it is only in column B because if we double click and fix the size of column B as per this, we will not see that spilling over. But we cannot have the column width by the length of the text because it will sometimes the text is too long and the width will be like it'll just go on till the end, right? We don't want an Excel to look like that. It will be not easy for us to handle the data. So what we will do is either we leave it like this or we right click, go to format cells, go to alignment. For this cell, let us shrink to fit. It has shrunk the data, shrunk the text, fixed it in the column or the cell. Control Z. Let us go to format cell again by right clicking on it. Let me do it again. So I right click, I go to format cell and then the left click. No, I'm doing it opposite. I select the cell and I do a right click and then I do a left click. Right and left. Okay. I do a right click and then I do a left click. Okay. Here it will shrink the data. Now let us say I don't want to shrink the data because I won't be able to read it. In that case, I'll click on wrap text. If I do that, it will wrap the text. Now if you see the row width has increased, right? I can do it in an easier way also using this particular option on the top in the ribbon. This particular part is called ribbon. Okay. I click on that, wrap text is gone back, and I click back, select it, it's wrapped. Let us right click and left click on format cell. So we have seen that it's wrap text, shrink to fit, merge cells. Now let us say I want to change the direction of the text the way it is. I can use this I can use this arrow and I want it like this at 45 degree. Right now it is at 90 degree, right? Flat horizontal. I want it 45 degree. So you see how does it look like? Looks like this. I am going to teach wrapping and shrinking text in this topic. Let us do Control Z. Now you must be wondering that why do we have such kind of option? But there are a couple of times that you will require this option, especially when you are doing the graphs. Let's go back again in the format cell and indent. Right now, it starts as soon as the cell starts. It doesn't leave any gap between the cell wall and the first text. Let us say I want to leave a gap of 2 points, left indent 2 points, and I click on OK. Now you see there's some gap which is left in between this and the wall, the text in the wall, but it looks too much. So let me reduce it to just 1 point and I click on OK. Let us see a few other options under the format cell. So earlier it was number, that is to change the format. Right now it is text. So the best way for the text is either you select text or you leave it general. But if it is a number, you might want to select it as a number. If you think it is a currency, you can make it as a currency and you can select rupee. There are a couple of currencies over here. Let me come to that a little later. Font. Let's say right now this is at Calibri. I want to change the font to Arial. I make it Arial and I want it bold I want it bold and italics also, and I want to increase the size to 24. So it will look like this. Well, let's say this is a mistake. I just don't want to delete it, but I want to strike it off. To strike it off, I can just strike through. It will look like this. So we know that we had done this, but for some reason or some known reason, we scrapped this particular description. Now let us say I want to put a border around this cell to pull attention to my colleagues to this particular cell. So the best color to pull the attention is red, though it is not very professional. I don't suggest to use that at the formal setup. And I want to create a border around it. I could have just selected like this directly, but I wanted to draw it and show you. And you can click OK. Now you see there is a border around it. You don't see the right wall because we have dragged it a little. Now let's say I want to reduce the size. I want to reduce the size to 11. I can do it directly from here. 11. And everything is Calibri. So, and this is area. So I want to make it Calibri. So I can select this and Calibri and enter. Can double click to fit the size or column width. Okay, but still there is too much of different kind of formatting which we have applied on this particular cell. I want everything like back like my previous cells. The easier way is I select any of these cells and I copy the format. Now one way to copy the format is I can do Alt ES, sorry, I can do Control C and I can do Alt ES and I paste only the format. Earlier we have seen that how do we paste only the value and all, right? Let us paste only the format. Now this and this is same, Calibri 11, unstriked, right? Another way could have been is I select this, I copy only the format. Earlier I copied all and I pasted only format. This time I am only copying the format by clicking on this option format painter and I paste it here. Done. Now let us say there are 2-3 cells like this. How will we change the format of all like this? I can copy this format and I can paste it. I can again go back to this, copy the format and paste it. But what if there are hundreds like this? Then what we will do? We cannot do one by one. So I can copy it and instead of copying, clicking once, I can double click this and I can keep on doing this. Or I can just drag it and then leave. Okay. Let me delete this by using the delete button. Okay, we covered this alignment and indent. I wanted to show the currency. Let's say we fill rupees 100. Okay. Now, how do we know which currency it is? I can right click, go to numbers, and we know that this is not just a number. If it is just a number, I'll select number and I will decide whether it should be 2 decimal or 3 decimal. I can keep on increasing. I want it at 0 decimal and I can use a comma separator also if it is a big number. It will be easy to read, but right now I don't need comma separator. I don't need decimals. What I need is, it is a currency. I need to select rupees. Click on OK. Now you see rupees showing rupees 100. Transpose data. Okay. Let us say that we have this data 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and this is the number of person A. To save time, I will type B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. Okay, or I could have done, no, it will not work. Now this is the score of person A, this is score of person B, this is a score of person C, and it is in table format. Okay, let's pull this on the right side so that it is easy to read. I don't want to copy it, because if I'll copy it and paste it, it will remain here and it will go on L also. So I will select it and I will go for cut and I will paste it over here. What I want it in a row. Right now it is in a column. I want it to be written like this: A, B, C, and so on. And here I want his number 2, 4, 6. So to do that, I will copy this, Control C. I want to start from this row and this column, K2. Here is your cell reference. I will select this, Control ES. I want to paste all and transpose. Now everything has gone like this. Okay. Now let's do Control Z. Let's transpose data. How to remove duplicates in data. Now if you see this, there are, let us select and see how many ones are there. There are 16 ones. On down below here we can see the number of count, sorry, the count of cells with numbers is 16 over here. If we add all the numbers in this cell, it will be 16. The average of all these cells is 1. We will cover this topic in detail later, but I want to bring your attention towards this 16. The count is 16, but we see that there are too many ones over here. Okay, let's say this number is in thousands, and I want to remove all the duplicates. I want only the unique values to remain. Let me put a 2 also in between. Now also you see that count is 16. Okay, but I want only the unique values to remain over here. Let me add a 3 also. So let me select all the cells and let me go to data, and we have option remove duplicates. Click on it. It will give you two options: expand the selection, continue with the current selection. If I click on expand the selection, it will include the other nearby columns also. We don't want it. We are very specific with this column. So let me select the second option, continue with the current selection, and click on remove duplicates. So it is saying column G, and our data does not have header, so it is unchecked. If I check it, it will not include the first row or the first cell. It will assume that this is the header. That's not the case right now, so let me uncheck. Column G is already selected. Click on OK. So it says 13 duplicate values found and removed. 3 unique values remain, which means the total values or total cells with the data were 13 plus 3, 16, in which 13 were the duplicates and 3 are the uniques which are remaining. Let's click on OK and see we have these 3 unique values. Okay. How to do data validation? Let us say, let me remove these things. Let us say I want a cell I can in which, or I want this column to be with numbers. There are students A, B, C, D, E. These are the name of the students, and here numbers. But I don't want anyone to make any mistake to fill by mistake any character or something. I want everyone to fill in numbers. And the numbers, let's say these are the test scores. Okay. Total is 100. Let's drag this 100 till here. And these are the numbers these guys have obtained. Of course, they can obtain maximum of 100 and minimum is 0 if they have not done anything. But what if I type 101? I'm a teacher, I have done a mistake. I typed instead of 11, I typed 101. That would be a blunder. How do we make sure that we put in a rule which enforces that teachers cannot put anything below 0 or above 100? And I want this rule to be till here, or let's say till here. This is not there. Let's forget about it. Till here, okay? So I select all the cells in which I want to put the condition, and I click on this ribbon in data, and I go to data validation. In data validation, I go to the first option. Right now, by default, it will be in settings, and it says any value. You can put in any value. But I don't want anyone to put any value. I want them to put a whole number between, not between, equal to. There are few options. I want them to put between. Minimum is 0, maximum is 100. And if they are not doing that, I want to give them a warning. Warning should be, please key in between 0 to 100. Okay. Title is test result. Input message like data validation. Input mess, that's title. Input message is data validation 0 to 100. So this will show that there is some validation in the cell. So teachers will not do any mistake. Now you see, if I click anywhere, there is no input message, right? These cells are free. But as soon as I hover on it or select this, it says this cell has a data validation 0 to 100. Even this cell, this cell, this cell. Let me type 99. I can do it. Let me type 2. Let me pass this guy 36. Let me give him distinction 75. Okay. But this guy did amazingly well. 100 out of 100. By mistake, I type 110 and I click enter. This has given me a warning. Please, and it says test result. That's the title. It says please key in between 0 to 100. And if I click on continue, then I can still do it. I can continue, but the teachers will not continue. They'll type 100. 101 again, it gives me this. So usually you have the by default no will be selected. We hit no, it will ask to fill again. If I click enter again, it will again give me the same error. Let's cancel it. Let it be 100. All right. Conditional formatting, level 1 and level 2. Let us say we have some data, um, score of person 1. Let's say this is the score of the topper. Let's give him some name. A, B, person C. Let me not waste time and type E, F, G, H, I. Okay. So these guys, let me remove this. One second, please. Let me clear all the rules in this selected cell. So these cells already have some rule. Okay. Let me remove these rules. So to remove these conditional formats, I can come on home in the ribbon, go to conditional formatting and clear rules. It will ask me, do I want to clear rule in the entire sheet or in the selected cell? I click on selected cell. It clear. Let us say these numbers are jumbled. Right now it is sorted, but let's assume it's jumbled. And let me actually make it okay. And I want the best guy who has scored the highest should be shown green, and the guys who are scoring low should be red, and the guys in between should be yellow. So how will we do it is I select these cells and I go on conditional formatting. I go to new rule, and the rule is format all cells based on their values. So I pick a 2-color scale. Lowest value, which is this, should be red, and the highest value should be green, and I click on OK. The guys who have scored the higher marks will be in green, and as it goes lower it will move towards the darker red. But I wanted something which the people who are average should be shown in yellow, like this. So I will pick a 3-color set. I come here. Last time we had created a new rule because there was no rule earlier. Now I want to change this rule. So I will click on manage rules. I will select this rule which I want to edit and then click on edit rule. It was a 2-color scale. Let me pick a 3-color scale and 50 percentile, which is yellow, and I click on OK. So it shows like this. The guys who are average are in yellow. The guys who are doing good are in green. The guys not doing well in the test are in red. We can also add one more rule, a new rule that I want the icons, traffic icon. The guys doing good are have this green dot or the red dot, and I show no and I click on OK. I click on apply. I click on OK. So it has a traffic channel line also. Cool. Right. Let's go back. So that was, you can add one more level of formatting. So we had added 2 levels of formatting. You can add one more trim function. Let us say we have data where there are space at the end. Okay, sometimes there's one space. Sometimes there are 2 3 space, sometimes there are multiple many more space, and it might be a problem when we are doing the calculation. So before any calculation, usually what we do is we trim everything. We just trim the useless things, and we just select this, enter, Control D, duplicate. Now this cell, these cells, they do not have any space or the user space after the text, after the end of the text. That's the trim function. Now let me tell you the important function like sorting. Okay, for sorting, let's create some data. Okay, we have this data. Let's jumble this data a little. Let me make it 100, 34, 56, 89, 87, 54, 67. Now I want to arrange this data in increasing order, which means the smallest data on the top and the lowest data at the bottom. Let's say this is student name, okay, and these are score. Let me select this, make it bold and make it middle aligned. Okay, now I want to sort it. So whatever I want to sort, I can select all. Okay, the shortcut to sort is you select it, Alt D S. Let me do it again, Alt D S. If you see, as soon as I did Alt D S, it automatically left these first two cells because it says my data has header. Let me sort it on the basis of score. Smallest on the top. Click on OK. Now we have smallest on the top. Let us say I did a mistake. I do Control Z. I don't want smallest on the top. I want largest on the top. I do Alt D S. Again, I'm sorting on the basis of score. Largest to smallest. Now we have the largest number on the top. Let us mark this column as yellow. This also is yellow. And this time I want to sort this. Let me mark this also as yellow. This time let me sort the guys who have the numbers marked in yellow. So earlier we were sorting on the basis of values. Let me sort on the basis of cell color. Okay. Cell color yellow. I want to see on the top or the bottom. On the top. Click on OK. Now these guys have come on the top. All right. Let me pause this for a while and let me stop the recording. Hey guys, welcome back. In the first video we learned till sorting, till trim function and sorting. Let's start with, we also check format painter, right? Let's say if I want to copy this format, I just click on it and if I want to copy this format and paste it at multiple places with multiple instances, I can just double click this. Change this, change this, change this, change this, change this. Now let me do Control Z. Okay, let us now see how do we do filtering. Okay, let us say this is our data that we used yesterday, right? For sorting, I told you we can do Alt DS. My data has header. If I uncheck, it will sort everything, but that's not true. My data has header. We want to sort it by second column. It doesn't make sense because second column everywhere is 100. Third column is number that makes sense. Smallest to largest or largest to smallest. Let's make it smallest to largest. So it is sorted. Now I want to do filtering, but I don't want to filter everything. I want to filter for this table and I want to filter for these headers. So I will select this and I will do Alt DFF, Alt DFF, filter. If I want to remove the filter, I can just come on data and I click on it to remove. And if I click back, it will do. But usually I prefer to use keyboards than selecting the options over here. It will increase your speed. That is why I have been telling you all the FF, all the S, all the shortcuts. So start using the shortcuts. That will increase your speed. Okay. So that's filtering. Insert picture. Let us say that we want to insert a picture for some reason. I can just come on insert. To insert something, just come on insert. What do you want to insert? Picture. Click on it. It will take us here. So let's say we select this picture in the background and it inserted a picture. Now, right now it does not make a lot of sense to have this picture, but when you're making a dashboard and you want to insert the company's logo, you can insert the logo over here in the corner, right? You can also insert the picture in your header so that when you take the printout of your Excel sheet, your company's logo will come as a header or as a footer. So that's picture. You can reset the picture. You can put it in some frame, selecting from here. You can change the border color to blue or to green. You can change the shape of the picture to, let us say, in round, rhombus, some okay. You can put let me put a shadow, so you can put come here and I want the shadow at the bottom, so you can do all that jazzy thing with the pictures. Let us delete it. Okay, insert a text box. Let us say that we have many such tables, right? But this table, second table is important. Let me put filter here, all DFF, DFF. I want to put a text box, insert a text box. So come to insert. Text box is right here. Click on text box. This is table with few specific students with lesser attendance. Okay, that's how we insert the text box. And let us say I don't want to do it like this. I just want to insert a comment right on the cell. This is important. A student with lesser attendance or with attendance 50%. If I want to delete it, I can just right click and delete comment. Gone. All right. We learned this. Now let's move down. Setting background for the worksheet and workbook. Now let us say I want to set the background. Earlier we set a picture. What if we want to have the picture in the background? So I come on the ribbon page layout. I click on background. I want this photo as a background too. This is not a very right photo to have the background because it does not let us see the cells clearly or read the content clearly. But I just wanted to tell you that how to set the background. Some people put logo as the background, but we have to make sure that by selecting background we are not hampering the readability of the content. All right. How to print a sheet? Let's say we want to print this sheet. Okay. The easier way is Control P. All, if you select this, print all page. Something is specific, put the number. I want page from 1 to page 2 or to page 3. Right? How many copies I want? 3 copies. Now, that was Control P. What if I come here and I go here, print preview, quick print. Let's say print preview. It shows me how much margin is kept over here because we have this check show margin. So this is how it will be printing. Next page is this. Next page is this. Okay, let's close the print preview. Now, let us say we think that the margin was more. We want to reduce it. So we can come over here. There are few auto select margins are there. Wide, narrow, normal. Or you can go to custom margin and you can define the numbers, the margin width here, and you can select your margin. Right here you can click on print preview. Now, in our current case, we don't have a header and footer. Let's say we want to add a header. So I can come to custom header or custom footer. Let's say in the custom footer, I want the footer on the left side, center. I want testing or let's say project name. And I click on OK. I go to custom header. In the custom header, I want to add the company logo. Let's assume that my company name is, let's say the company makes ice and company's logo is this. I want it on the left side. I click on OK. In preview. So this is how it looks. I can drag and fix this particular thing and while going to the header, and at the bottom it says the project name. Let me go to the header again. And let me remove it. Now full screen and custom view. It's a view, so let's come to view. If you want to see full screen, just click over there. Right? If you don't want it, press escape. Some people, they also remove it just by clicking on that minimize option. Now you can maximize it from here. So minimize and maximize. If you minimize it, it will come at the left bottom. Okay. You can also zoom it by using this icon, or there is there is an option over here. You can use this and you can increase or decrease the option to increase the zoom or not. How to set grid lines? That's pretty easy. We should have an option over here for, okay, right, it's right here. If you don't want the grid lines or if you want the grid lines. Usually some people, what they do, sometimes in some cases when you're printing out a report, which is made on Excel, they remove the grid line before printing it, right? This is called formula bar, FX. This is a formula bar. If you don't want to see the formula bar, you can uncheck this. It will go off. But I suggest to always keep so that whenever you highlight any cell, if there is any formula, it will show you right here. Heading. Let us click on it, and if you see, all the column headers have gone. Usually this is done when you're making a dashboard. We hide the headings. Okay. How to protect a sheet and how to put a password in Excel. Let us say that I want to protect this sheet. This is okay. Let me protect training data. Okay, this is very important, and I don't want anyone to delete anything, column or row. I save it by putting a password. Let's say my password is COVID-19, capital COVID 19. Okay. Retry the password, capital COVID 19. Now I save it. Now if you see, I cannot make changes in this sheet. I cannot delete it. This is how we protect. Let's say unprotect, same password COVID 19. I unprotected it. Now I can delete this. Now what if I want to protect the whole worksheet or the whole workbook? These are called sheets. Okay, never get confused between the words. Sometimes using the incorrect word creates confusion. These are called sheets. Excel also calls it sheet. This is sheet 1. Okay, this entire Excel is called workbook. In our workbook we have multiple sheets. Let's say we want to protect the entire workbook. So you come over here. Why don't I have that option? Okay, come to prepare and encrypt the document. It asks for password. Let's put password COVID-19. Okay, COVID-19. Save. Close. Now I want to open this sheet again. Where is this sheet? Okay. This is that workbook. Now it is asking for password. I just cannot open it unless until COVID I key in the password COVID-19. We have to be extremely careful while using this particular feature. If you get logged out, there is no easy way that you can retrieve the password. So to remove this password, I go back over here. I go to prepare. I go to encrypt document. I see my password here. So I cannot see my password here, but I know that it is of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 characters. I remove it. I click on OK and I click on save. I remove the encryption. Okay. Hyperlink. Let's say I want to insert a hyperlink in my document. I come to insert and I click on hyperlink and I want to insert a link of a particular Excel Bible of 2007. So I select this document and I click on OK, and you see this link is created. Okay, and if you hover on the link, it shows that the hyperlink is of drive D, folder training to Feb 2020, Excel training, Bible, MS Excel 2007 Bible. If I click on it, that page will open. Okay, I should not have done that. Now it will actually open it. To remove this link, I can just right click and I click on remove hyperlink. Now it has removed the format. I want any of the format like this, so I select a format, copy the format, paste it over here. You see this Bible has opened. 914 page Bible. Let me close this. All right. Select column and select row shortcut. Okay, I think we have discussed this. Shift space is we select the row. Shift space. If I want to select a column, it is control space. So shift space and control space. But if you press shift space and then you press control space, sorry, if you press shift space like this, and now if you press control space, it will just select everything and hide a row and hide a column. So the shortcut is for hide a row is, let me go on the top, and hide a row is like control number 9, control Z, and for column it is control and number 0. So 9 for shift, 0 for column with control. All right, now in the next training we will see how to create table and how to format, how to create pivot table slicer, and then we will take a look at graphs and then a couple of mathematical functions. All right. Thank you.
Hey guys, my name is Devansh, and let's continue with our training on Excel. We covered general Excel functions till now. Table, mathematical functions. Let's jump onto graphs. Okay. For graph, let us copy this data onto a new sheet. Control V. Okay. I've kept less data for the sake of better understanding. This is our data month, and these are the sales figure. Now let us say I want to create a graph. So easier way is highlight this, go to insert. I want to create a column chart. Click on here, my chart is ready. I can format it, maybe this, or let's take the default, and let us say now I have data for July also, and it is 300. Now how do I add it? I just drag it like this. July is added. I can select till here, and I can keep on adding the data, but right now our data is only till July, so let's keep it like this. Okay, let's say I don't want the blue color, I want it to be green or red or blue. I can select that it is from here. Now we see that this is the x-axis, which is also called the horizontal axis. Okay, now on the horizontal axis we have months. On the vertical axis we have the sales figure starting from 0 to 800. We can actually go to format axis and we see that this is automatically taken 800, but I can make it 1000. But right now the word auto has gone. Not right now it is reset. Okay, but let me reset to auto. Now I don't know what exact this number is. I know this is somewhere around less than 600, but if I hover on it, 592, I can right click, add data labels, add data labels. So at the top, I see the data label. I select the data label, I right click, and I can change the size and font. Let's say I want to make it 10, 10, and I click on OK. Size is increased. How to make this also as 10? I want to make this as 10. So I just have to select it, select this. I can't select both together. Okay. Now let us say for some reason I don't want this to be a column chart. I want this to be a bar chart, which is horizontal. So I can either create a new chart, or if I don't need this anymore, I can double click this on the top over here. I can go to change chart type and select bar over here, and I change to bar chart. And I click on OK. Now this has changed to bar chart, but I want January to be on the, click on it, format axis, category in reverse order. So I get January on the top, but now axis is also on the top. I don't want this axis because I have the values over here. So this is how it will look like. Okay. Now let us check what are the other charts that we have to prepare. Our column line chart. Okay. Let us say we have sales figure like this and we want to see the trend. So I want to create a line chart. I can double click, go to chart, under chart design, I can go to change chart type. See the line is here. Click on this line, click on OK. So this is how the trend looks like. 300 to 28, 197, 225, 169. Then it jumps to OK. This is opposite, right? So I can click here again. Format axis, category not in reverse order. Okay. So it looks like January to July, it's down and then it is common, kind of flat. But I want to see a trend line. How my sales are trending. I can right click and I can go to trend line. So this is how our trend line looks like. So of course it is working on regression, the linear regression. If you want to make it logarithmic or exponential or polynomial at the power of 2, so it will look like this, that right here it went down and then it is slowly picking up. Okay, but this is out of scope for us right now. Let's make it linear. This is how our sales is focusing, but the right way of seeing it is right now is polynomial because it's picking up. So this is how our chart will look like. And if I want to change the chart, I see this looks like dollar sales per month. Okay, dollar chart. Let us say I don't want this. I want to see that in the dollar chart. I can just go to chart type and I can go to suppressed. Okay, and it will look like this. Right click, add data label, format data series. So then it's not showing. Select data. We have the dollar sales. So maximum contribution is in the month of February. Okay. We can change the solid fill or the gradient fill or no fill, right? Do Control Z. Control Z is the best option in Excel. All right. Come back to line chart. Pi. Pi works in a similar fashion. I go to chart design. I go to change chart type. I go to pi, and I want pi in here. Like this. I pick up this. I increase the size, and 730. I click on it. Format data label. What I want is series name also. No, I don't want series name. I want category name. So here I see February is 730, January is 592. If I drag it outside, it will come to the line. Okay, Control Z. If you click on it, it will ask you where you want to show the data label. Top center, bottom, middle, top. Click on top. Okay, it's already top. Let me click on. Okay, vertical alignment. Let's come down. Go to chart. I want it centered, so it goes in center. I want it outside, it goes outside. Usually when there are too many, you want it outside, or maybe sometimes you will have to drag somewhere. But right now, as we have just few, we keep it best fit. Okay. Okay, so that's about the pie chart. So what else we have? Bar, column, line, donut, pie. How to move chart forward and backward, I'll show you. So let us say there are two charts which are overlapping on top of each other. Let me move this. Okay, for some reason. But I want this to be in front. I will right click on this chart and I will bring it front. It has come in front. If I want to set it back, I can click on this. I can set it back. Okay. Chart formatting I have just taught you. Spot and we will capture win and loss. Let's capture win and loss. All right. Like this. Let us say that let us take this data in this sheet. Let me delete this. Copy it again. It's already copied. And let's paste it over here. Okay. So this is these are the deals, okay, or maybe customers. No, these are sales reps. Okay, so the guy named Dodson, he won 4 deals in this month. He lost 7 deals. Okay, another lady, Rose, she won 2 deals and lost 8. Another lady, Scarlett, won 9 deals and lost 8. Similarly, we have the data. Now, I want to know the absolute number. How many did we win or how many did we lose? So let's go individually. So this guy equals, he won this minus he lost this. So total loss minus 3. Okay. So this is how our data looks like. And I want to create a chart. My chart, I want to cut it and I want to paste it over here. because my chart will have this data, this and this. I select this and I go to chart, insert, and I want this chart. Okay, so this is how a win-loss chart looks like. Now what I will do is, it does not look too good. I will sort it. To sort it, first I will change it to values. Right now it's formula. So all ds, win-loss, smallest to largest. So this is how the chart will look like. Usually in this, we remove this. We add the data label. This is our axis. I move the axis, format axis. I can change the color over here. Text option. I want to go back to axis again. And I want to keep it automatic. Category reverse order is like this. I don't want it. Label and number. Now you come on to label. Where do we want the labels? High, it will, or low, it will show us on the left side. So it will look like this. So all the people or sales reps name have come on the left, but usually I want to keep it like this so that it is easy to read. Suresh is on the top, achieving 8. Rose is at the bottom, achieving 6. I can, if I want to make it bold, I just click on it and I click on bold. Okay. So this is what it covers. Smart art I will be covering in PPT, not over here. Alright guys, this concludes our training. Thank you so much. I will be leaving my LinkedIn ID. If you need any help, if you have some question, you can just contact me over there. Bye. Hey guys, this is Devansh. Welcome back. Let us start where we left in our last video. So till now we have covered general Excel functions, and we covered table, including pivot table and slicers. Let's move on to functions, mathematical functions. I have created few data sets just for the ease of understanding. Let me highlight. So this is our data. Let me put that into another format. I went to format cells, then I came to border. I pick up color, let's say red. I pick up this, I change this. Okay, so this is our data. Okay, let me make it 1, 2. So let us assume we want to count in this cell. We want a count of all the numbers which is in this cell. Okay, so that's equals count tab, and I give the cell reference. Done. Bracket close. There's 7 items in this cell. Now let us calculate in this column, in this cell, number of items in this particular column from here till here equals count. Now you see the answer is 6. It's because there is a blank over here. What if I want to count only blank? In that case, let me delete this. The formula is count blank. No, not point blank, it's count blank. I keep the reference, bracket close, enter. There is only one blank. Let me create one more blank manually. Let me delete this number. You see there are two blanks. Control Z. Okay. All right. Now let us say I want to count even the text over here equals count A. It counts all the cells which are not empty. Keep the reference A. Because if you see, this only count has also given me 7. But if I make this 4 as A, or let me write a word COVID, it does not count COVID. It counts only the number. But what if I want to count everything? Let me write here COVID. So we have to use count A. Here it does not matter whether there is a number or there is a character. I want to count everything. So that is count A. Okay. Now let us say I want to count all the cells in this column which contains the word COVID. So type equals COUNT count if. Okay, count if. Count where? Count in this range. What? Count if. The criteria is if it is COVID. Count that. There is one cell which has COVID. Let me write one more COVID. So now if I press enter, it should be 2. So now the result is 2. Okay. Sum. Let us say I want to sum this column, this particular column. So how will I write? I'll write equal, just like the way I wrote count. Let me write sum. Sum, and I give this reference, enter. Now let us say I want to give some criteria. Okay. So I want to give criteria that I want to count everything which has A. So like just like count if, let me write here sum if equal, let me write here sum if range. In this range, if there is sorry, comma, if there is A, add what? Add in this range. There is no A, okay, but what if I make this A and they make this A? In that case, you see it has added 1 and 2, which is why it is giving 3. If I make this also A, so it will be 1 plus 2 plus 7, that will be 10. So answer is now 10. Okay, product. Let us say I want to multiply all the numbers in this cell. Okay, how will I do it? Equals product this and this. So it's 1 and 2. 1 into 2, that is 2. But if I want to increase my range till D4 and I close it, so it will be 1 into 2 into 3. So 1 into 2 is 2, 2 into 3 is 6. No, it's, yeah, 6. Okay. All right. Now let us assume that I want to find the minimum, the number with the least value in this column. That is, this is minimum min tab, and I give the cell reference or column reference, enter, minimum is this. In the same way, I can find out max equal max, give the cell reference number, the max is 7. What if I make right here 100? So max is 100. Average. Let's say I want to find what is the average of all this. So average is equal ABE RAGE average. We give the cell reference, enter 4. Let us say I want to combine two of these formula. Okay, I want sum of this 4 cell, let me highlight, and average of this. So in that case I will write equal sum of this plus average of this 22. Let us say I want to find out what is the date today. This is 22nd of August 2020. Now I want to find out what are the date 7 days back. I do equal that, like equal, assume there is no number here, equal the date minus 7 days, 15. Now I can very easily subtract these two dates. It will give me the number of days in between, equal this minus this, 7 days. Okay. Now let us say that I want to use the if function. Okay, let me first jumble it. To jumble, the easiest is I want to create a random number between 1 to 10 and drag it down till here. I copy it, I paste it as values, and I sort it all DS on the basis of last column, which is column B, smallest to largest. Now I delete this, I don't need this. Now this is jumble. Okay, let me teach you first right and left. I want to find out how many. Am I sharing my screen? You are sharing the screen. Okay, sorry about this. Okay, how to find out the number of characters in this word Tanzania? That is length. Okay, LEN, not the full length, LEN. Text, right close, enter. There are 8 characters. Kenya is 5. We can just drag down the formula, Control D for duplicate. Kenya is 5. Okay. Now I want to pull out the first 2 letters of each cell. Equal, first 2 letter means on the left, LEFT. This from this text, how many? 2. Bracket close, enter. Drag it down. Okay. But now I want to find out 2 letters from the right. Equals right. So right, this text, how many characters? 2. Bracket close. Done. Now I want to find out, let's say there are hundreds and thousands of data here, but I want to find out only Tanzania. So equal if this is equal to Tanzania, I put that in the under the inverted commas because this is character. If it is Tanzania, if this cell L13 is equal to Tanzania, I want it yes. Okay, I want it yes. Otherwise, I want it no. Close. Good. So these are the cell which has Tanzania as yes. The reason why I have yes as green because I put a conditional format. How I put the conditional format is I selected all the cells where I wanted the conditional formatting. I went there, I clicked on new rule and I said format only cells that contain specific text, that is no, format them as red, it's red, okay, and click on OK. So I formatted for no, earlier I formatted for yes, so all yes have become green, all no have become red. Let's see what else is pending. So we covered sum, subtract, product, divide, average. Divide is nothing but, let's say there's a number here and there's a number here. I do equal. I want to divide 100 divided by 10, done. Or I want 100 minus 10, done. So we did this, sum with condition, count number, text blank, count with condition, minimum, maximum, if, and we have to see, true we have to see, true is simple. Let me go back to this sheet. Okay, let us say I want to check if this cell is equal to, for some reason this data is here also. I want to see if the content of this cell is equal to content of this cell. I'll type equal, content of this cell equals content of this cell. Oh, it gives me true. Let me drag it down. So I have true, 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 true. This is false because L18 is not equal to Q18. Okay, proper. Let us say Tanzania is not written in a proper way. Let's say it is written as TANZANIA. Okay. Kenya is written as KENYA. Again, Tanzania is written as TANZANIA. These three are not written correctly. What I will do is I'll equal proper. I want it in a proper case. I select this text and I close it and I drag down to 3 columns or till down here. Now everything is proper. You see this Tanzania is proper. I'll copy this. I can leave it there, or if I want to replace the original proper case, I'll just replace it and I'll delete this. Okay. Len, right, left, today, VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP. All right. For VLOOKUP, I have created the data, but let us create again. Okay. let us say we, okay, let me first delete the data which is already existing to reduce any kind of confusion. Remove the color and all. Start from here. Let us say, let's take a small subset of this data and let's call it that these are the people who took the survey in these countries. Okay, let me copy and paste it here. Control V. Let's keep only 3 columns. All right. These are the people who took the survey. They belong to APJ. Let me add some AMS in with. Okay, doesn't matter. Okay, let's not the right data. Let me take another set of data. I can just do Control Z. Let me remove region. We don't want region. We don't want job title. We want job family and country. Okay. And how many we have? We have 21. Let me delete one. So we have, I can see at the right bottom corner, count 20. Let me take 10. We want 10 out of it. Okay. So let me copy all. Copy all. I want random 10. So easiest way of random 10 is I do equal random in between 1 to 20. Okay, and I sort it from smallest to largest. Let me give the column AG, right? I said column AG, smallest to largest. Okay, and I delete 10. From here I delete. I don't need the random number also. Now my task is I want to find out if this guy he has taken the survey, and if he has taken survey, in which country does he live and what is his job family. So one way of finding is I copy this, do Control F, paste it, and find where is he. So this guy is in China, he's a pre-sales consultant. I can copy and I can paste it here. I can do it 10 times. But what if there are thousands of such requests? The easier way is I look up this guy to fetch out these two results. So let's do it. Equal. We look up this guy where? In here, in this table array. Okay. What do I want? I want country. Country is column number 2, and I want the exact match. Bracket close. So in this column I want country, another column I want job family. So here I will type again we look up this guy in this table array. Okay, what do I want? I want job family, which is the third column. Press 3. I want exact match, because let's assume that email is the primary key, so it has to be exact match. Exact match, tab, bracket close, enter. In the same way I can drag down the results. Oops, what happened? This Hong is not there or what? Let's find out. Hong is there. So why I don't have the data? So I check my formula, okay? F2. It works fine. This looks good. But for the second row, Yong Hun, F2. Oh, I see that the table array has gone down because we drag the formula, right? In this case, it has come all the way down. So this is correct. Starts from 2. We are in row 2. In row 3, it starts from row 3. Then row 4. Then row 5, row 6, row 7. It's not correct. I don't want this table to move. So how will I do it? I'll, I'll do F2. Oh, I'll do F2. I'll select this and I will freeze it by F4. Select this, freeze it F4. Press enter. I'll go to this column in pre-sales consultant. I press F2 to see the formula. I select this and I freeze this by pressing F4. I freeze this by pressing F4. Enter. Now I want to drag this formula down like this. Now if we see, the table is not moving. Only the cells which are moving, which are not fixed. So AD11 is moving. This is moving. Okay, that's how we do the VLOOKUP. Whenever we are searching in the table always have to be on the left side. Now, what if we have the same exercise, but our data is not vertical, it is horizontal. How do we make it horizontal? Alt ES. I want to paste all transpose. Let's paste it here. So I transposed it. Now I want to find out this guy in this table array. So as it is horizontal, I will do not VLOOKUP because V is for vertical. I'll do H lookup. H L double OK lookup. What I want to look up? This guy again. Where? In this table array. And I told you we have to freeze it. For freezing, we press F4. If you're freezing it while writing the formula, you have to just press F4 once. What do I want? Which row? Earlier we were giving the column reference 2 and 3. Correct? Because the column we wanted was at the second place. Here I want to give the row reference. Here my row is I want country. So my country is in second row. I type 2. I want the exact match. China. So this guy is in China, and job family in the job family is equals H lookup. Search this guy in this table array. Freeze the table array F4 always, comma. I want job family, that is the third row. Number 3. Use the down arrow, come down, false, which is exact match. Press tab and press parenthesis closed. Enter. Pre-sales consultant. Let's find out. China pre-sales consultant. Okay, this guy is in China and he's a pre-sales consultant. Okay, and in the same way I drag it down just to check if my formula is working correctly. I press F4, everything is fine. Sometimes what I do is out of paranoia I copy this, Control F, Control V, so it shows Japan sales specialist consultant. Enter. Okay, it says Japan sales specialist and consultant. Okay, results are perfect. So this concludes our training, and function is extremely simple when it is a logical test. Let me show you. It gives a logic where two functions are correct. Let's say this guy is equal, and if this cell is greater than 50, but if this cell is less than 100, false. But if I make it 55, it is true. So that's how it functions. It checks two logics and can be used in the combination with if. Just like the way I showed you how to do the computation of sum and average, you can add plus count of count of this also. You can just keep on extending as per your requirement. Okay. All right. Let's see what's pending. So till now we have covered in our first two videos, we covered the general Excel functions. Then in the third video, we covered table. Then we covered mathematical functions, including V and H, which is not mathematical function, but it's slightly complex, so I had kept it for the last. And the next video, I will teach you how to create charts and graphs. Okay, and maybe after that, I will cover statistical functions. But for that, you need to have statistical understanding. All right, guys. Thank you so much. This is Devansh. Thank you. Hey guys, this is Devansh. This is continuation of the other training that we completed that included general Excel functions. Now let us jump on to the next section, which is table. How to create a table. Let us say for some reason in Excel itself, we want to insert a table. Now when I say insert, you'll find things over here. Okay. Now let us move on to we want to insert a table. Now it shows that as I had selected that area, it says that it is going to create a table from column C cell 30 to H41, and I click on my table as header. Now it has created a table. As simple as that. Now if I need to change the table design, I can pick this. There are a few more. If you click under this, let me use the blue one. Okay. It is very easy to distinguish the data that you want to highlight, that you put that into table, unlike when you are putting that in a normal Excel cell. Other important thing is if you are building a pivot, and if you have selected a table, then you need not to keep changing the data range in the pivot. I'm sure you're not able to follow on this, but let us hold this for a while. Then we will move on to uh, create pivot table. That time I will pick up this topic also. Okay. How to format a table. It is the usual way of formatting. There are few specific things how to format a table. Is one is of course you have few specific table styles over here, but if you just want to format it the way you format any other thing, you can. If I want to change the color, I can change it like this. I change the text color like this. It's a usual way of formatting. It's nothing different. Okay. Now let us say we will pick up a bigger topic of, let's relate it, pivot. Let's create a pivot table. Now why do we create a pivot? Let us say we have this data from column C onwards till column L. Let me highlight. Okay. Let us assume this is the data of the survey that we have done, and in the survey we asked people how much time they've spent in their day-to-day work life or office on sales related activities, another on strategy related work, and on admin related work, and how satisfied they are with their office work life or office life. And we have collected these many 2400. Here we see the count 2531 responses. We have also collected in which region, sub-region, country they belong, what is their job family and job title, how much time they are spending in number of hours. Okay. Now it is we can we can actually filter. We have filter is like I can just click on this and I want to see data of AMS. I click over here and I can pick up the sub-region. Let's say I want to check data for Canada and yeah, why it is showing. Okay, Canada, and I can see that 67 people are there in Canada and they spent around 23 down here. They spent around 23 hours on sales activities. But this is not a very useful way of seeing the data, right? What if you want to see it in a consolidated way? In that case, let me remove the filter. Let's create a pivot. To create the pivot, the easier way is you select the data that you want to cover in your pivot table. Okay. How did I do it? I did it by pressing shift and right arrow. So I went to my right and then I pressed shift control and down arrow to come all the while at the bottom. And then I go to insert and I want a pivot table. Now this is already saying that it is selecting data in the sheet training data, which is down here from C1, column C, row number 1 to column L, row number 5, sorry, 2532. And it says, do I want the data from external source? No, it is not currently. And where I want to create the pivot down here in the new worksheet or in the existing worksheet. Now let us create a pivot in the new worksheet. Okay, so click on OK. Now, if you click on OK, this is what you're going to see. On here, we have only the columns that we had selected, nothing more. Okay. Now, we will put the larger filters on the top for the report. Those filters are region. I will drag it and put it in the filter. What I can do also is I can just click on checkbox and change from rows to filter because I want that in filter. And I put that in the first quadrant again, country. And yeah, I want to see the report as region, sub-region, and country. And right now, I only want to see sales data time and strategy time and admin time. But I don't want to see the sum. It doesn't make any sense to me, correct? This is the total number of hours that is spent by everyone in the study. But this information is not useful. I want to change it to average. For that, I will click on this inverted arrow, go to value field settings and change it to average. So it says I will get average of sales. Similarly, I will bring the other data on the same scale, which is also called, I won't use the word normalization, that's a bigger topic, but yeah, I want on the same scale, average. And then this also I want to see as average. Now, if you see, it's too many decimal points. So let me reduce. I come to home, I use this decrease decimal or increase decimal. I decrease it, press it number of time I want to reduce. I want to make it 0 decimal. I want it to be middle aligned. I want to see the sum. I select all three. Down here at the bottom right, I see sum as 51. So on an average, The guys in the survey, they are spending 51 hours at work, which is divided into three categories: sales, strategy, and admin time. Maximum time they spent on sales, right? Now, let us say I want to see only for AMS. So I click on that, I select AMS, and click on OK. So we see in America, people spend more time on admin related activities, 14 hours, correct? If I click together AMS and APJ, it is the time is reduced by 13, which means that APJ is less. Let's see, 11. Now, this is also not making too much of valuable information. Let me drill it down by job family. So I will pull this and drag it down over here at rows. So by row, I see that these are the job families. The people who are surveyed, they are in this job family, and this is how they're spending their time. And if I want to sort it, I just have to do Alt DSS. Oops, sorry, Alt DSS. Something is wrong. Okay. So let us say I want to create another pivot where I want to let us say I want to create another pivot table where I want to see the drill down not by job family but by title. So I can follow the same step again, or the shorter way is I copy this and I paste it over here and I remove job family and I select job title. Okay. Now let us say I want to see both by AMS. So I select AMS here. I want to see this data also by AMS, but I have to do this AMS. All right. Now the problem is, what if I have 10 pivots or more than that? I cannot go on selecting AMS in each and every pivot. It will take a lot of time. What if we have only one one place to click AMS and then it applies to all? In that case, what we will do is we will add slicers. To do that, let's create some space for the slicers. For that, we need to cut these pivots and move it towards little right. Let's make some adjustment. Double click, it will adjust. Okay. For slicer, let me hide this. Let's go to insert and I want to select slicer. Let's click here. And slicer give me these options. I want, let's say I want 3 slices, one for region, one for sub-region, one for country. So I click on region, sub-region and country. Click on OK. Now I have 3 slices. I drag them over here. I drag them over here and okay, not like this. Make it small. Do some adjustment. Drag this right over here and drag this over here. To distinguish from the actual pivot, I change the color, red, red, red. Okay. Now let's say I selected AMS. Now I was expecting AMS to apply at both the places, which it has done. Let's click on Brazil. Brazil is selected only here, not here. Why? Let me select APJ. APJ is selected here, not here. Let us see what is happening. Let us first remove all the filter. Okay, let's go back to ground zero. So the reason why it is happening, let us say right now we have only two, but what if we had 10 tables, or sorry, 10 pivots? So we need to click on each slicer, the country slicer. I select it, I right click, and I go to report connections. Now it shows me pivot table 3 and pivot table 4, which means my this slicer is connected only with the table 3, not with the table 4, which is on sheet number 7. I click on OK. I go here, I right click, I go to report connection. This is also connected to only one table, pivot table 3, not to 4. I click on OK. Similarly, I go here and I go to report connections. I see this not connected. Okay, I go and click on save, and I click on APJ. Now this both is selected for APJ, right? And in APJ I want to see for India, and sub-region is also India, which I need not select because there's only one which is highlighted. So APJ India, we see that people are spending 26 hours on an average in sales activities, 13 in strategy, and 10 in admin activity, right? So this is about our training on pivot and slicers. I'll catch you again in the next training video where I will be capturing graphs and mathematical functions. Maybe I will let's catch up on mathematical functions. Graph we will leave for the last. Okay. Thank you guys.